something I enjoy doing, putting these live streams on. And what are we doing today? What are we talking about today, man? I titled this live stream "Shed a Few Tears for Your Email List." You betcha. What does that mean? What am I talking about when I say shed a few tears for your email list? And I spelled it Tiers, not Tears, Tiers. Shed a few tears for your email list. What am I talking about? We're going to get into it today, right here on the live stream. I am Cam from Epic Conversions, by the way. And, if you want to know more about what I do, be sure to get on my email list. That's epicconversions.com, EPICCONVERSIONS.com. That's how you get signed up on my list. Now, listen, as you watch my live streams and you think, man, what does Cam do? How does he make his money? What does he do? Right? That's what you want to do. You want to get on my email list so you can kind of figure out how my business works, right? I'm at 80% of my financial transactions comes from email. Okay. So if you get on my list, that's the first step to figuring out how my business operates. And I recommend you do that. If you resonate with anything I'm saying, or if you like what I'm talking about, I recommend you get on my email list. Second thing, if you like this live stream, if you resonate with what I'm talking about in these live streams and you just enjoy, you enjoy these video chats that I do here, the best thing to do is to subscribe to my Substack. Okay. My Substack, just go to substack.com, Cam from Epic Conversions, right? KAM from Epic Conversions. And if you can't find that, hey, I probably can't help you anyway. Life's a lot harder than that, man. You got to be able to find Cam from Epic Conversions on Substack. So anyways, look, what are we talking about today? What do I mean by shed a few tears for your email list? You betcha. So I want to focus on, I read a really cool article today. Okay. And I want to kind of focus a little bit on this article that I read. I want to kind of share a little bit of the article with you, but I also want to direct you to go check the article out yourself. Because I think it's worth your time and your attention to check the original article out. I think you can listen to what I have to say on this, but you'll get even more out of what I have to say after you read the article that I'm going to read a little bit from today. Okay. So this article is by my buddy, Andy Lehman. All right. Andy Lehman, A-N-D-I. Okay. Andy, A-N-D-I. Leeman, Andy Lehman. He's right here on Substack, okay? And he wrote an article just today. I got this by email today. Why you should have a paid newsletter which you don't promote or sell. Why you should have a paid newsletter which you don't promote or sell. This is a great article. All right, I'm going to read a little bit of it here, and then I'm going to tell you to go check the rest of it out on your own. So check out Andy's article. It's very good. But I want to kind of add 2 cents to this conversation because, like, for me, there's a little bit of a different way that I would approach this situation. Even though this is a good article and I love the points Andy's making on this article, for me personally, I would do it just a little, I would tweak it just a little bit if I was going to run this method. If I was going to run this tactic, I would tweak it just a tiny bit. And I'll explain to you how I would tweak it personally. If I was going to run it. So what happens is if you're watching this live stream, you're going to get the benefit of how I would do it. And then you can go back and you can read the original article for yourself, and see what Andy's talking about here. So anyways, let me read a little bit from this article for you so you have more context to what I'm talking about. Okay. So why you should have a paid newsletter which you don't promote or sell. Okay. This is Andy Lehman. You can find him right here on Substack. Okay. The other day, I was reading about a marketer who gave people free access to a monthly newsletter. They charge $25 per month as a way to get people on their email list. You understand what's happening here? You got someone who has a paid newsletter for $25 a month, but as a way to entice people to join their email list, they give them free access to the newsletter. Okay? That's what's going on. The access to the monthly paid newsletter was an additional bonus being offered alongside a free lead magnet. Okay. So they are stacking the value, right? They're offering them something for free, like a lead magnet, and they're offering them free access to their $25 a month newsletter, right? Now, this is a very valuable, lead magnet here. This is quite a bit of enticement. So Andy goes on to say, what was interesting is that the opt-in rate was high because people believed they were getting plenty of additional value as a bonus when signing up for the initial lead magnet. People were getting free access to a newsletter others were paying $25 a month for, right? So then Andy goes on to talk about this. He goes on to talk about the ethics of it, and he goes on to make some really interesting comparisons. What I think you should do here is I definitely think you should go check out the original article. This is Andy Lehman, AndieLeeman, and the article is why you should have a paid newsletter which you don't promote or sell. Good article. Check it out. But that's the gist of it, right? You have a paid newsletter, right? And it costs like a certain amount of money. But the reality is the newsletter is kind of a sacrificial lamb, so to speak. The reality is that paid newsletter is really only a paid newsletter so you can use it as a way to entice people to join your email list and to give them something that they recognize as valuable. Okay. It's a way to really, really kind of hard stamp the perceived value of your free thing. Now, the problem is, and this is something Andy addresses in the article, the problem is when you start giving something away for free that other people are paying money for, they start to feel some kind of way about it. They start to feel like, that maybe they got tricked a little bit. They start to feel like maybe I got tricked a little bit. Maybe this, why am I paying $25 for something you're giving away for free? I mean, this ain't right, bro. This ain't right. That's not ethical, right? That's a natural response, It's a natural response. And, the thing about it is, to me, this is why, it's important. And this come back to the title of this live stream. I said, shed a tear for your email list. You betcha. And the reason I said that as a title for this live stream is because, this is where the idea of tiers come into play. Okay. So if I had a $25 a month newsletter, and I wanted to use it as kind of a sacrificial lamb to get people to sign up for my email list, right? Well, there's a way that I can do that. There's a way that I can do that without reducing the perceived value of my $25 a month newsletter. So the way I can do it, and I actually replied to Andy via email and told him these ideas I had on this. But anyways, the way you do it is you apply tiers to your $25 a month newsletter. So you got the $25 a month newsletter, and that is tier 2. Now what you do is you can simply add monthly group coaching via email coaching. You can just do via email coaching. You will respond to people's questions via email if they're part of your $25 a month tier. Or you could do a once a month group coaching call for the $25 a month tier, right? So you just add this thing, either the group coach, either the email coaching, right? Doesn't really take you a lot. You're just answering people's questions who are part of your paid membership, or you have the once a month group coaching call, right? It could be a number of things that you could add. The key with that is you don't want to add things that are going to take a lot of time from you, right? You want to add things that are going to be seen as valuable to the people who are paying $25 a month, and also seen as separating them from the free tier. Okay. Seen as separating them from the free tier. Okay. So now you see we have the tier 2, which is $25 a month. And now you got the tier 1, which you probably guessed is free, right? You got the free tier, which is they get the newsletter, right? And then you got the $25 a month, which is they get the extra once a month coaching call, or they get the extra email coaching or whatever. They get something extra for the $25 a month. Now, that's not where I would end, okay? That free tier is still it's like, I don't want to do it that way. That's not the way I would do it. Okay. That's not enough. I know that sounds kind of neat or whatever to have those two tiers, but that's too basic. All right. That's too basic. This is 2026. And what happens is if you got the free tier and the paid tier, and what happens is with the paid tier, they get the monthly group coaching call or they get like the email coaching or whatever. That's cool, but they got the gist of it with the free newsletter. If they can sign up for the free newsletter and it doesn't cost them anything, well, they got all the concepts you're teaching in there. So maybe they don't need the group coaching call or whatever, right? So like to me, from my standpoint, that still reduces the value of the newsletter too much for me. I'm not into like the sacrificial lamb in that capacity. So how would I do it? How would I change the free tier? Well, it's very simple. I want to add a degree of scarcity to the free tier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to flex price it, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make that tier 1, I'm not going to make it free. I'm going to make it $7. So I'm going to have like a light version of my newsletter, which is like $7 a month, right? I'm going to have the $25 a month version, which comes with like, let's just, for all intents and purposes, the $25 a month version comes with a monthly group coaching call. Let's just say it comes with a monthly group coaching call, $25 a month. That's really cheap for a monthly group coaching call, by the way. But this is just for example. So you got like the $7 a month tier, tier 1, and then you got the $25 a month tier 2, right? Same product, but like the tier 1 doesn't have the monthly group coaching call. It's $7 a month. It's like the light version. They get the newsletter. So they're balling on a budget, right? They're balling on a budget. They don't get access to the group coaching call, but they get the newsletter for $7 a month. Now, here's where the magic happens. How do we turn that into like just lead generation? So what I'll do, and this won't be hidden. This will be on the sales page of the light version, the tier 1, the $7 a month version. This newsletter goes free 4 days a month. It's the matinee days. 4 days a month. 4 days a month. This is free. Okay. It is right on the sales page. If you don't want to wait, that's fine. It's $7 a month. But if you want to wait, you can ball on a budget. You can ball on an extreme budget. If you're broke, if you're broker than broke, if you're broke as a joke, wait for my matinee days, because the last 4 days of the month, every month, I offer a coupon for this to get in for free on the light version. Okay. So then what you do, so that's flex pricing, right? You go back and forth on it. So it's $7 a month normally, but 4 days a month, it's free. All right. So what happens is now you got like this matinee period. You guys remember matinees from the movie theater? Like, oh, movies cost this much, but if you go on Tuesday afternoon, it's only this much, right? So it's the same kind of thing. You got this flex pricing where like normally the price on the $7 newsletter is $7. But 4 days a month, like the last 4 days of the month, it's free. It's a free newsletter 4 days a month. So what happens is on those 4 days of the month, you can promote it, right? You can promote the free access. And what this will do is this will increase conversions for your leads, right? And then the rest of the month, you just promote it as the $7 a month newsletter, and you make sure you tell them, hey, look, or you can move on to promote other stuff, but it's $7. So you got the 25, you got the 7, and then the 7's on a flex pricing. So like 4 days a month, it turns into like a lead generation thing. So yes, it's like a sacrificial lamb during those 4 days of the month, but that's basically like a it's like a loss leader kind of thing. You basically are sacrificing the product 4 days of the month to generate leads. But the thing about it is, because most of the month it's $7, it's not free most of the month. It's $7. Most days it's $7. So what that means is the perceived value stays at $7. The perceived value doesn't drop to, 0, because what happens is most times it's $7. 4 days of the month, it drops to 0. There's a coupon associated with it, right? So you give them a coupon when they click the link, when they use the coupon, they see the price reduced to 0. It's something special. It's not just setting at 0 all the time. All right. So that's how I would do it. I would use tiers for the situation. And by using tiers, I believe you effectively create 3 tiers. You got your tier 1, which is the $7 a month. You got your tier 2, which is the $25 a month, and then you got this flex tier 0, right? Which, 4 days out of the month, you'll make it cost nothing, and that's basically a way to generate leads. That's how I would do it. This is basically just, you see this, like, okay, the way I'm explaining it, you don't see that a lot, right? This is a little bit more advanced than what you see, but you see this free premium thing all over the internet. I mean, you can go to Spotify and you see the free premium. Look, Spotify, you got like the free version of Spotify. It is, it's free, but you gotta hear ads, right? You hear ads with the music. Oh, you're listening to your favorite album, and like halfway through you get an ad, right? That's the free version. If you get tired of those ads interrupting your albums, you get the paid version. It's $10 a month. That's Spotify. That's free and that's paid. It's the same thing. The only difference is I'm talking about like kind of like changing it a little bit. Uh, so I think it's just more effective to change it a little bit because of the simple fact that, if you leave something free all the time, that's its value. Its value is free. It's not worth anything. I think that Spotify would do better by adopting this kind of flex model, like what I'm talking about, to be honest with you. I think, that the free version of Spotify should not be free. I think that, if they made it a paid version and it like it just flex priced every once in a while down to free, then what would happen is the value of Spotify would go up. The artists would make more money. The artists who allow their stuff to be streamed would make more money. And I think everyone would be happier. But that's just my opinion. But anyways, look, these are the kind of things I think about, and I'll tell you something, like, I don't know how you view this kind of strategy. I really don't. I can tell you, um, it is easy to underestimate yourself. Like me, like when I think about the strategy I just shared with you, um, I know that this is a strategy I could share in one of my membership clubs. Well, I really only have one membership club right now. I don't have multiple membership clubs. Um, I know I could share this in that membership club and people would find it valuable and they'd use it and they'd go make money. Um, but also, like, to me, it feels very, very basic. It doesn't feel like, it feels like everybody already knows about it. Everybody already knows this stuff. I know that's not true. I know that I've been, marketing, for since 2011. I've been working online since 2011, and I started Epic Conversions in 2016. Epic Conversions will be 10 years old next month in March. So I know there's this thing happening in my brain where like everything, I think this is everybody probably, you know, you think that the stuff like everybody knows, like people already understand that and stuff. And they don't, man. They don't. You think everything that is just like average knowledge that everybody already knows. And, you know, there's all this like secret sauce knowledge that other people know that you don't know. And I don't know. I think we just have a tendency to underestimate ourselves. I guess that's what I'm trying to say. Now, I believe that um, you got to fight that a little bit. You got to fight that because it's not true. And the fact of the matter is, when you underestimate yourself, what happens is you start reducing your prices. You start just not really, running your business the way you need to run your business to make the kind of money you want to make. So what I would suggest you do is get out of that mindset of thinking that, what everybody else already knows, because there's a good chance they don't already know those things. What I just revealed to you just now about this multi-tier pricing structure on a membership club, um, it's a smart way to like be able to take advantage of lead generation with your membership club, but at the same time not turn it into like some kind of sacrificial lamb that's going to have your paid members annoyed with you and canceling. Because trust and believe, if you got people paying you $25 a month for the paid version and you're like sacrificing it like for lead generation, like those people aren't gonna stay with you. As soon as they figure it out, they're gonna bounce. They're gonna be like, dude. And not only are they gonna bounce, but they're gonna be kind of like annoyed with you for. They're gonna feel like, man, dude, why? What in the world, man? This is crazy. Why am I paying you $25 a month and you're giving this away to everybody else for free? Like that annoys people. Trust me, I know because I was one of those people for my cable company. Okay, my cable company. Like they sent me my internet, my broadband. Right, they sent me a flyer. Right, to join the broadband service at like, man, it was like a fraction of what I was paying them. Right. So I looked at it and I was like, what is this? What is this, man? So I called up on the phone. I was like, "Hey, look here, man. How come you guys sent me this flyer to get broadband service from you, for like a fraction of what I'm paying you guys for broadband?" "Oh, sorry, sir. That's for our new customers." I was like, "Really? Because I've been a customer of yours for like 10 years. You're telling me that like you're gonna let some newbie who just joined your service have like the internet provider service for like a fraction of what I pay for it, man? Whatever happened to loyalty, dude? This is crazy." So they said, "Well, here's what we can do for you. We'll go ahead and lower your amount to like this amount." They were gonna lower my amount to the same rate as what the new person would have got, right? And I was like, "Really? Just like that? Just because I called and complained, now you're gonna lower my amount?" Um, and they were like, "Yeah, well, the squeaky wheel gets the grease." That's what they told me. The squeaky wheel gets the grease. And I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Well, don't you think that's kind of messed up? I mean, why is it that like, so if I wouldn't have called you, I'd still just be paying like 3 times as much as what new people are paying. I don't think that's right, man." And they're like, "Well, that's just how it is, sir. We've always done business that way." All right, well, that's cool. And I promptly went and found myself another internet provider, and then I started checking all the other businesses that I did business with because, I have a tendency to, pay for things, in advance. And I like to just have things in place and not really think about it too much. So sometimes if you have that mentality, you can kind of get complacent. Um, so after that, I kind of established this new rule in our house that we were gonna, uh, every single year, we're gonna like check in with all these places and not just pay them, every 6 months or whatever, mindlessly without thinking about it too much. My wife and I, we are the kind of people who like to deal with the same people. We get a trash service. We just want to deal with that. That's who we've been dealing with. We like to establish relationships with people and just deal with the same people. Oh, we got like a heating and air conditioning guy. We got like an HVAC guy. We got a plumbing guy. We got an electrician guy. We got all these people, who we deal with when we got a problem, and that's who we want to deal with. And that's fine, but you can't be like that, really. I mean, you can be like that, but still got to check in on people. You can't just like let it go for years and years and years, like I did with the cable company or with the internet company. I just let it go for years because that's what we got. This is what we pay, whatever. And you just don't want to think about it that much. You just want to let it go. It's not good. So, anyways, to kind of circle this back around to the point, when I look at it from the other end of that, um, a lot of your business, it's going to come from customers you already have. Okay. A lot of your business, I would say 70% of your business is going to come from customers that you already have. Um, a lot of your time and energy gets spent on acquiring new leads, and they are very expensive to acquire. Whether your spending cost is in time, whether it's in energy, or whether it's in money, new leads are expensive to acquire. But you make far more money off of the leads that already exist. And I don't mean far more money by like charging them a bunch more money. I mean like they the life of your customers will be extended if you treat them right. If you treat them the right way, the life of your customer will be extended. So what happens is, listen, Let me tell you something. I have customers on my list who've been on my list since I was doing Adventures on the River. That was my first membership club back in like 2012. People on my list still buying from me today. They've been following me that long, over a decade of following me, still buying from me to this day. So what I'm saying is this idea of having like this sacrificial lamb where like you have a $25 a month membership club and you offer to people for free to generate leads. I think that's a great idea. I think it's fantastic. I strongly recommend you guys go check this article out. It's fantastic. But what I'm saying is you don't want to overlook your paid members. If you got a $25 a month membership club and you got paid members paying you $25 a month, you want to take care of them too. Okay. Because those guys are actually more important than the new leads you're trying to get. Okay. The leads you already got, I know it's a novel concept. It's a novel concept, but it's true. The leads you already have are actually more important than the new leads you're trying to get. Okay. Why are they more important? They're more important because they are proven. They are already proven to buy from you. Listen, there is not a more valuable lead on this planet than someone who has agreed to pay you every month. Okay? Let me repeat that. You got free leads, you got buyer leads, then you got reoccurring buyer leads. And like reoccurring buyer leads are the cream of the crop. The people who have agreed to pay you every month for value that you provide. You do not want to play around with those people, okay? Those are your people, all right? Now, I'm not saying you want to pander to them and bow down at the altar to them. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying you want to take care of those people. They have agreed to pay you every month. You don't ever want to make them feel like they're being slighted or make them feel like they're being ripped off by you. And it is a very simple thing to take value you're providing them and provide them extra value. If you're going to make your newsletter a sacrificial lamb, just give them something extra so they don't feel like they're getting ripped off. And it's a very simple thing to take that tier 1, that light tier, and put it on like a flex price, where like 4 days of the month or a week of the month or whatever, you take it down to free. So it's like your sacrificial lamb, but most of the month it's like, $7-8 a month, right? So it still maintains a value, right? So that keeps your $25 a monthers feeling special, like they're getting something more for their $25 a month. Then you're going to have some balling on the budget crowd who's going to join at the $7 a month. And then you're going to have the opportunists who are going to join at the flex price of $0 when you go matinee on them like once a month, right? So it's kind of setting up this little system for you. And the cool part about it is it's the same product. It's the same product being leveraged in multiple ways for multiple purposes. Okay. You understand what I'm saying? So anyways, look, that's how I would do it. Okay. That being said, great article. Andy is somebody who I interviewed a couple months ago. I think it was last year I interviewed Andy. Andy's a really cool guy. Andy, like he was a carpenter. He's a master carpenter. Like for 20 years, this dude was a carpenter. And then he decided to move into online marketing, right? So Andy's been around for a long time. And he's got a lot of stories to tell. And he's got a lot of cool angles to talk about when it comes to marketing. So be sure to get over, check out my dude, Andy. He just wrote this cool article today. Check it out. This video I'm doing here is really kind of an extension of that article. I look at this article and I see it like, okay, well, this is a conversation that Andy started. Let me kind of like add to the conversation a little bit. So this video is really just me adding to this conversation that was started by Andy. So, if you enjoyed this video, be sure to get over and check out the start of the conversation with what Andy wrote here. So look, that's all I got, man. I hope you guys are doing amazing out there. Now look, I won't be back tomorrow, okay? I'll be back Monday. I'm going to take the weekend off from these live streams. But listen, if you like this live stream, be sure to subscribe to me on Substack. I'm at Cam from Epic Conversions on Substack. And if you want to know more about my business and how I do things, be sure to get over to epicconversions.com, subscribe to my email list. And listen, you guys, follow me on Substack here, okay? Give me a thumbs up. Restack this thing, man. Share this with someone you think it might help, okay? Listen, I only got like 82 subscribers on Substack, okay? I'm not big time. I'm trying to grow an audience on Substack. I'm a little dude on Substack, okay? So, everything helps me. So if you enjoy what I do, man, you help me out a ton by subscribing to my Substack. I'm trying to grow my audience here, and so yeah, that's what I would say, man. Listen, give me a thumbs up, drop me a comment, let me know you're alive out there, and I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a great weekend. Keep it between the ditches. Peace now.